How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday. After an absence last week, had some technical problems and I think I recorded a pretty harsh video, and it didn't come out the way that I wanted. Talking about various things that I see as usual for these videos, but it just was it wasn't what I really wanted, and with that those technical difficulties, well, I decided to just let it go. And this week I'd like to talk a little bit about meaning. Yeah, meaning. Because it's important, at least for me, to give meaning, to have meaning in the things that I do, things that I enjoy, that I love. And so I gave meaning to my collecting, to my collection. And as superfluous as perhaps some of you might think, or silly, but I've been traveling this path of collecting for some time, not since I was a teenager or since I was born with a knife, no, but I've had my years of it. And as a true, honest user up in the mountains when I work there, and in gardens and schools, outdoors, down in the city, and so tools that I honestly enjoy, but that I ended up also giving meaning to it, and that meaning has to do with life. Exactly, because it's just I don't enjoy meaningless acts. And I know that life is full of that, but the less I can live that way, and the more I can live with having a meaningful life, well, that's the way I prefer to live my life. Oops, what did I hit? No, that was the dog. So, what about you guys? Is meaning important for you? For me, at least, owning a knife, a folder, a multi-tool, a traditional, these are the, at least as for tools, for me, these are like the four essentials, right? A knife, a full tang knife, fixed blade, a folder, a good, dependable folder, a traditional, and a multi-tool. Those are like my go-to EDC, and it has some meaning. It has a purpose. It's not just a trend. It's just more than that. It means, at least for me, being prepared for whatever's coming, for whatever arises. Whether it's a splinter, whether I want to cut some wood, some branches, doing some gardening, or just wanting to whittle something, or fixing something, right? It's It's so important, at least for me. And at least for the way I think, and as a man, I have to be prepared for whatever arises. That's important. And things that we are forgetting, we keep on forgetting, this amnesia that humanity is going through, right? And we forget the important things. And so there will be a series, I don't know if a series or one video or a couple of videos about what collecting can teach us, what collecting has taught me particularly. And there are plenty of things. You'd be surprised. You will be surprised, I think, when you hear it. Because also, this will be first-hand experience, and not just from a collector, but a user as well. For those of you who know part of my story, you know that I started off with axes, and not collecting axes, but as a user. And then went on to machetes and fixed blades, and ended up in folders, with folders. So that's something that came naturally, and came naturally as a job, as a necessity, as an immigrant in Spain. One of the jobs I did, and I was taught to do, was from a lumberjack. And so I started with axes and chainsaws. So, and by the way, I'm better with an axe and hatchets than the chainsaw. But anyways, I think giving meaning to life is important one way or another. There's just a lot of nonsense out there, and we get confused. And what was clear in the past is now uncertain. What was solid is now liquid, or so it seems. And so by searching for meaning, we are establishing, I think, the stepping stones in our path. What path, Professor? Well, our very own and individual path to knowledge, to happiness, to wisdom. We are all searching for something, aren't we? There are things that are most important. You know, some people may find wisdom, the search for wisdom, and find wisdom to be happiness, or vice versa. They find happiness and content to be more important. In Oriental philosophies, it is said that both are important for true happiness, wisdom and compassion. it is said that both are, each is a wing of the bird of happiness, or the bird of true happiness, or freedom, true freedom. So, meaning, does your collecting mean something? Yeah, there might be psychological factors, because there's always something, right? There's an emptiness, a void that we fill with knives, or other people fill that void with something else. But if you dig more into it, and you recognize what you're lacking, or you discover something within yourself that you didn't know, then you start getting to know, and then you can add or even find meaning within that. And I think that's wonderful, getting to know one's self. I believe we are responsible for three things in life. We are responsible, first and utmost, for ourselves and our development. Second, we are responsible for children, to protect children and guide children. And third, we are responsible for this planet, for nature. That's part of the meaning I give to my life. Doesn't mean it's the right thing nor the wrong thing. It's just the meaning I give to my life. What's yours? I'd like to know. Leave it in the comments. Let's keep the conversations going. Something that we really need. Conversations, and deeper conversations, I think. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Professor EDC out.